not a disease per se, as far as somebody does not get a cold and one day he wants to be with the same gender. No,
Yeah, it's like something you're born with, right?
no, it's not something you're born with. Let's explain. So, each human being has desires. In fact, each creature has desires. Animals live based on their desires. They have instincts to procreate, to eat, and they function based on that. Men and women, mankind, if you will, also have desires, but they don't work off of instinct. They can choose to obey or disobey their desires. So, a man that naturally will want to have the opposite gender. That's how the world is. Not just because of reproduction, but simply because opposites attract. So what happens is that men have physical needs and women have physical needs. Physical needs not just to procreate, but also to relieve themselves of certain hormones, if you will, in a appropriate language. Now, men have certain desires that require certain things. Women have desires that require certain things. So far, you with me? Now, sometimes what happens is a man is fooled to believe that he needs another man instead of another woman. Why? Fooled by his own confusion, where he thinks that just because he is attracted to something masculine, he is feminine himself. Some men are feminine, some men are masculine, muscles, like they're not just because they're built, but just because they talk with a muscular tone, they act muscular. And some, with a certain bravado, if you will. And some men are more feminine, they're lighter voice, they're more gentle, they're certain types of men like this. Now, the longer you live, the more you'll meet. Unfortunately, you'll see some of both. Some are righteous, some are wicked. You'll meet many, many people. Some men, instead of being, more close to the average, normal, masculine men, they're feminine. And they believe that because they're feminine, they need to be with a man. Why? Because men are naturally masculine. So they figure that if I'm feminine and I'm going to be with a woman, it's not going to work. Why? Because a woman is feminine and I'm feminine, so therefore it's not going to work. So he thinks, he's fooled by his desires to think that he needs to be with men. That's the mistake. A man that's feminine does not need another man. A man that's feminine just needs to find a masculine woman. That's it. Some women are masculine. Some women are feminine. That's it. But the problem is that sometimes people do all types of sins, make all types of sins by following their physical desires, their sexual desires, to the extent where they numb themselves. Meaning, in the beginning, a young man, wastes seed a lot. Then, after that, what ends up following, he becomes very promiscuous with women. After he's promiscuous with many women, this is teachings of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, by the way. You want to see Lekutei Maharan. After he's promiscuous with women, eventually women are no longer enough for him. He wants something else because the excitement that he had the first time he was with a woman is no longer the same excitement after he's been with 100 women. He needs something else. So he feels maybe he needs to be with 2 women. Maybe he needs to be with 3 women. Maybe he needs to be with more women than he can count. And then eventually he starts thinking, maybe I need to be with a man. What ends up happening is that these people that follow that attraction also get to a point where even men are not enough for them. And that's why in America today there are over 3 million men. 3 million men that admit that they commit bestiality on a regular basis. Meaning they're with animals. Why would a man want to be with a disgusting horse or cow? Why? Why would any normal human being ever want that? Because, again, it started with being promiscuous, following your physical desires like an animal, not satisfying yourself, so satisfying it with something more provocative, more taboo, not enough, doing more, getting worse, to the point of committing bestiality. We see this also in the Torah. Nebuchadnezzar and several other of the kings of the Goyim had wives that were animals. The prophet for the Goyim, which was Bilam, was married to his donkey. Nebuchadnezzar was not only homosexual, but also bestiality on a regular basis. And many, many others, unfortunately, married to, in the Tanakh, it talks about they're married to animals.